Zotero is a free bibliography manager that lets you easily gather, organize, and cite research sources. Zotero works best with Google Chrome, so if you don't already have it, go to google.com/Chrome to download it. To download Zotero, go to zotero.org. Click Download Now, and download Zotero 5.0 following your computer's installation process. PC users should follow the installation wizard, and Mac users should drag the Zotero icon into their Applications folder. After you have finished installation, find Zotero in your programs and open it. Zotero will automatically save files in a default folder, usually your Users folder, which can be hard to find. It's best to create a new, easier-to-find folder location before you start adding items to Zotero. First, create a new folder in a location that's easy to access. Then, go back to Zotero and change your preferences by going to Edit, Preferences, Advanced, Files and Folders, and then select the Custom Data Directory location. Find the new folder you just created and click Select Folder. Click Yes to use the new directory, then quit Zotero and reopen it. All of your Zotero file backups will now be saved in the new folder location. Next, go back to the Zotero site and install Zotero Connector for Chrome. The connector will let you save items to Zotero directly from the internet. It will add an icon in the top right corner of your browser. You'll use this icon later to add citations to Zotero. There are a few different ways to save items to Zotero. Start by creating a new collection in your library by clicking on the folder icon and giving it a name. You can add a new item manually by clicking on the green plus sign. Select the type of item you'd like to add, then type in the title, author, publisher, place of publication, and year. You can add other information, but this is all you need for a citation. You can also add an item directly from an online database, like the WTS Library Catalog. When you find a book you want to save, go to the Zotero icon in the top right corner of your browser. It will look like a book when it detects a book citation it can save. Click on the icon, and the book will be saved to Zotero. It's best to go back to Zotero and check the information to make sure it's formatted correctly. In this case, you don't need the state in the place of publication. Fixing the information now will save you a lot of time later. You can also add multiple items to Zotero at once. If, for instance, you wanted to cite all the books Todd Billings has written, you would do an author search, and on the results page, click on the Zotero icon, which has turned into a folder. In the pop-up window, select which items from that page you'd like to save, and click OK. A dialog box in the bottom right tells you what's being saved. Again, go to your library and check to make sure citations are formatted properly, deleting unnecessary information like the edition number and publication date. It's also a good idea to standardize the publisher name, since some sources will use differently worded versions of the same publisher. You can use this method to add sources from anywhere on the internet that you find book information, including Amazon, Google Scholar, HathiTrust, and Internet Archive. If you expand the item in Zotero, you will find a saved link to the original web page. To add an article citation, use an article database like the Atla Religion database and find an article you'd like to cite. The Atla database has many full-text articles, and if full text is available, Zotero will save the whole article. When it detects article information, the Zotero icon will look like an article, and clicking on it will add it to your library. If you expand the article, you'll see the full-text PDF. Clicking on it will give you a link to the original web page, and double-clicking on it will open the article. You can also use the folder icon to add multiple articles at once from a page of results. This method will also save any corresponding full-text PDFs to Zotero. To delete an item from Zotero, right-click on it, select Move to Trash, and click OK. If you click Delete on your keyboard, it will remove the item from its folder, but not from your library. A blue dot next to an item means that the item has attachments, like PDFs or links. To attach a note to an item, right-click and select Add Note. There's no limit to the length of notes or the number of notes you can attach to an item. Changes are saved automatically. You can sort your items by clicking on one of the headings. For instance, click on Creator to sort by the author's last name. You can view additional information by clicking the icon in the top right and selecting a category. You can then sort by that category. You can search using the search bar in the top right. It will search whichever folder or library is selected, but not its subfolders. You can also add your own PDFs by dragging and dropping them into an item. The file will appear beneath the item when expanded. This can be useful for adding PDFs from websites like HathiTrust, which include downloadable content that Zotero doesn't automatically add to the citation. Download the content separately and click and drag the file onto the item. Double-click on the file in Zotero to open it. Before exporting your sources, make sure your citation style is set the way you want it. Go to Edit, Preferences, and then Export. For writing in the humanities, use the Chicago Manual of Style and change it to Full Note for full footnote references. To create a bibliography, open Word, highlight the item in Zotero you want to cite, and drag and drop it into Word. You can also highlight multiple items in Zotero and drag them into Word all at once. Double-check to make sure they're formatted properly. You may have to make a few adjustments if you forgot to check the formatting when you first added the item to Zotero. For footnotes, add a footnote at the end of a sentence in Word, and then hold down the Shift key as you drag the item from Zotero to your Word document. Add the page number to your footnote, and your citation is complete.